Hi, girls. We're back. This is our first podcast after we launched. So we're very excited. And you guys answered and we listened. And we got a lot of topics to cover. We'll keep doing all the topics you want us to go through.
Yes, please keep sending. We love hearing from you.
We even heard from a dad.
Yes, dads, please tune in and just give us any topics or commentary that you'd like to hear about.
We don't care about your opinion as much as the moms, but we care a little. Thank you, moms. We loved the feedback. So our first topic, drum roll, is navigating situations, issues, conflict with in-laws.
Yeah.
And this came up because one of our relatable moms, who is a good friend, we try to make time during our crazy schedule to meet for lunch. You know who you are. She is dealing with a lot of specifically mother-in-law and also sister-in-law issues where she feels that she's never made to feel enough. And she's also never made to feel like she does enough. She sets boundaries. She gets pushback. She gets a lot of negative feedback, and she's navigating this all the time. It is not an easy situation for her. So we want to tackle this.
In-laws, just that word for some people, there's just so much to unpack there that you weren't necessarily thinking that you'd ever have to. You walk in being your most vulnerable, authentic self, hoping to get the type of love from people or your in-laws that you give out. And I think a lot of people are just not met with that. And it's a huge eye opener and it's a really hard thing and just an awful experience. And I have a lot of sympathy for your friend going through it.
I have a lot of sympathy for her too. And first and foremost, the main reason that Mel and I started this podcast is because we want moms to know that whatever problems or issues you're dealing with, you are not alone.
Right.
That is why we did this. So
Yes.
I first want to tell this mom, you are not alone. We have so many friends of friends, family who are trying to navigate this in-law situation with as much grace as they can.
Yes.
And first and foremost, you are not alone. I think that we can maybe just go through how you feel is a good way to tackle these things, how to go about these situations, and go from there.
I want to add to your point. If you're going through something like this, drop a comment, send us a message. We want to hear your story. Yeah. If it's something that you're willing to share, we want to share it too. I think we can all learn from each other. But I would say, to answer your question, the best way I think to navigate it is say to yourself, I know I'm a good person.
Yeah.
I'm going to be all of who I am.
I like that.
And if somebody doesn't like it, they're just going to have to accept me. I wish somebody explained that to me, being in a new marriage, a new relationship, and now in-laws. You're mending two families and they're not the same. Right. And that's okay because not one family operates the same. But when you're in this situation and you're not met with the type of kindness that you would give, then that's just something to, I think, quickly recognize and say, I'm not going to put my energy towards you anymore. I know that's harsh.
Right.
But I think quit trying.
So your first piece of advice would be your authentic, true self.
I would say their family, not your core. They're not your husband.
Yeah.
They're not your partner. They're not your best friend. They're not your village. They're your village to an extent, but they're not your core. I wish that was explained to me because I think for a lot of people, you have dreams as, a girl or boy. I'm marrying this amazing person who has amazing family. And then you're not really seeing the expectations that you kind of thought you had in mind. But then there's other situations that are up.
Right.
There's just blatant disrespect. And I think when somebody disrespects your boundaries,
that's what she was just dealing with, a disrespect of boundaries.
It's tough because now you have to start setting up boundaries too and have direct conversations like, if you say things like that in my house, I think it's so hard to find your voice because you need to start putting up boundaries with people. I'm glad that your friend did. Setting boundaries is very hard to do for some people.
Right. I was very proud of her that she did.
Especially with family. It's very uncomfortable.
Absolutely.
And you want their response to be positive, and it's not always the case.
So In the event that it's not positive, what do?
You have to determine what's really best for you and your household and the
Okay.
relationship with your partner next. What you always have to keep in mind is that you want to really think about your happiness level and where your energy's going. If something was said that was really out of control, I think that you should address it with that person. I think you should pick up the phone and say, you were here and something just didn't felt right that you said. I think you should talk to your in-laws. You have to approach it head on, even though it's super challenging.
Yeah.
They're not going to respond well. They're going to act like 5-year-olds and how about me and how about this and he did that and blah, blah, blah. I have one other piece of advice, and that is to match their crazy shit personality type. I'm serious. If they're going off their rocker, best thing I've ever done is match it too.
Go off your rocker.
Like,
too.
listen, fucking bitch, you want to try me? Here I go. And I will go so psychotic on your ass. And then it never happens again. But that's what I mean. I don't recommend
really good advice, ladies.
I don't recommend going there. I recommend being all of who you are.
But another issue that comes up, which I wanted to segue into, is, which I see also with her, with our friends, is the issue that comes up is that when an in-law is not treating the daughter-in-law a certain way, it causes conflict in the marriage.
Oh, yeah.
Because we have friends that say, oh, my husband didn't defend me when X, Y, and Z happened with my mother-in-law, or my husband didn't say this when my sister-in-law did this, or my husband's not defending me enough. I see it with friends. I see it with family. And that's also a difficult situation because you would think that they would want you to be happy with your husband and they would not want to create conflict. And I see this with our friends all the time. And it's disappointing because at one point we're going to be mother-in-laws. I don't want to be crazy.
But you wouldn't be. There are some in-laws that come into your house thinking that they're going to tell you how to live their life. And that is just a problem. So if that's how some of your in-laws are, then it's not you, it's them.
Well, one of our friends actually came over one day to my house and she's like, my father-in-law just bought me a strawberry donut and I'm highly allergic to strawberries.
Well, do you think he was trying to kill her?
Maybe he was trying to give her some sort of highly allergic reaction.
Yeah, I would think that.
So some people are dealing with that.
I think you raised a really good point. You have to really go to your spouse or your partner and say to them, where do you stand? I would want honest feedback from my partner for a reflection standpoint of how I could handle situations better. But the bottom line is go to your man and ask him, whose side are you on? Are you going to defend me? I wanted somebody to have my back, and
who's the one that has sex with you?
Yeah.
Right.
He needs to do his role and you are the queen. And that's one of the problems with mother-in-laws. They no longer have their son by the dick. The woman does. The wife does. And they're jealous of that.
Some mother-in-laws are.
You also mentioned that she has some issues with sister-in-laws.
Yes. So this specific situation that she brought up to me was a combination of an issue that came up with a mother-in-law and a sister-in-law. And the sister-in-law was involved in this conversation where my friend set boundaries, what works for her kids, what works for her family, and she was completely shut on by her sister-in-law. Completely. She defended herself and she was strong.
Yeah.
But she was really upset after. She told me she was crying and I felt terrible for her.
That's awful. It seems like to me that the sister-in-law is sticking up for her mother and getting involved, and the sister-in-law should focus on herself. Find anything to focus on that has to do with you, whether it's your skin, whether it's the cracks in your toes. Girl,
volunteer at an animal shelter.
Go focus on yourself. She has too much time on her hands. If that were me, and this has actually happened to me, match that crazy with crazy. I picked up the phone. Bum, 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 bum. Hey, bitch. I don't know if I said hey, bitch, but I was like, hi, I heard you're mad at me. This is true. And they're like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. You got to call everybody out because you got to stand your ground.
Call everybody out on their shit.
Which is a good to our next podcast.
Oh my God, call everybody out on their shit. I love it. Call your husband out on their shit. That could be like a 10-hour conversation.
I think really with the whole in-law situation, you can approach it two ways. You can try to have a heart-to-heart. And I think that's the best place to start. Hey, this really bothered me. But if it's not going to be respected, then she should just literally
set certain boundaries and that's it, right? And her husband has to respect them. Yeah, that's what I think too. Like what you did is you set boundaries, you stood your ground. And as hard as it is, if that's what you need to do to protect your peace and protect your space
Yes.
and protect your
peace and
marriage,
space.
that's what you have to do.
I just wish I understood why some in-laws are like, okay, you guys got married. We're going to tell you how to live your life now.
I think it's a personality thing. It could be a personality. My in-laws are not that way.
I know.
I feel like I am not in the norm with that because there is rarely anyone that we have conversations with who feels the same way as I do. And that's why it's so important for all our relatable moms to know daughter-in-laws are dealing with very similar things.
But there's a lot of people that are just so unfiltered and it's just so rude and so inappropriate, but they don't care. So why should you? That's why they're doing what they're doing. So why should you care? I do believe in my concept of match the person's personality type.
Stand your ground. Go batshit crazy
you're
if you have
batshit crazy
to.
on me. I'm going to go even badder shit crazy
I
on you.
like that. In very random situations, I feel like my level of crazy had to go up to match the crazy I was dealing with.
I would love to see this side of you.
It happened one time at a grocery store and I actually talked back, but it's really hard for me.
Well, it's hard for all of us. And that's why just more power to us.
I know somebody who's been married to someone for 10 years and their father-in-law just asked how they should spell her name. They asked daughter-in-law, how do you spell your name? Right?
The
Match
joy.
crazy with crazy, right?
Yeah.
So our advice to you, relatable mom, you know who you are, and all the relatable moms out there is be your authentic self. And if your in-laws are not going to accept you, then that's it. And be who you are.
Yeah. And I think channel somebody that you really like that may have gone through this. Like Princess Diana, she totally went through this dynamic of feeling like the outsider. I don't think it's necessarily wrong to feel like the outsider, but I think if you're treated like the outsider, that's when it's not okay.
And I think you have to make sure that you have the support of your husband.
Yes, that's a huge one.
And it's okay to set boundaries. And it's also okay to not be okay sometimes with all of this. It's okay to be upset and to cry and to be disappointed that this is the situation that you're dealing with. But we are so strong, especially moms with little kids, and you all can navigate this. And if there's any sort of feedback or advice that you feel that we can relate to something very specific, how should I have handled this or how should I handle this? We want to hear from you. We're going to do our best to give you the best advice that we could give. We're here for you and we want to hear from you and we want to know what topics you want to discuss. And most importantly, we want you to know that you're not alone in everything that you're going through, the day-to-day, the little, the big. We're here.
So drop some comments, girls. Let us know how you're feeling. Share your stories.
Yeah, DM us what topics you want to talk about. If you want to discuss it privately, we are here.
Bye, girls.
Bye, girls. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.